Hi, this is Dan Weedin. I'm a crisis management expert, and today we're going to talk about the elements in a business continuity plan. The first thing you should think about are what are the classifications, what are the areas that I am most likely to see some sort of crisis occur in. There's four. Number one is your property, your buildings, your contents, your computer equipment. Number two is your human capital, issues with employees. Number three is your liability, specifically your third-party liability, which can be anything from an auto accident to a product's liability situation. And then number four is loss of revenue. Those are your four main areas you need to consider. Out of those, what I think are five very important factors for all of them are these. Number one is, where will you work tomorrow after the bad thing happens today? So if you've had a fire that burns down your building, what are you going to do with 80 employees tomorrow? You have to have that plan in place before it happens. So have a redundancy plan for your building. There's a reason you all work together in the same place. You need to keep that current. Number two is connectivity. You need to have power. How and where are you going to get that from? If you've had a windstorm, something bad's happened regionally, you still may have clients outside of the area that need you. So you have to have some sort of a backup plan, whether it's a generator or some disaster recovery company that comes in. They're out there, by the way, that can come in and help you get connectivity right away. Number three is, once you've had that power up, you need to restore your data. How are you backing that up? Is it off-site? Is it out of region? Can you easily access it? That's an important question that needs to be answered before the crisis happens. Number four is communication. How are you going to communicate to your employees, to your supply chain, to the community and the media? You have to have a crisis communication plan in effect in advance. You have to have somebody who's in charge of that, and then you have to have a backup to them in case they're on vacation when that crisis hits. So having a communication plan in place in advance is important. And then finally, insurance. I talked about each of those four different areas. Each one of those, insurance comes into play for the catastrophic. So you need to determine what your risk tolerance is. So to recap really quickly, you have four main areas to be concerned about. You have your property, your human capital, your liability, and your income. And out of those, you need to answer the questions: where are we going to work tomorrow if the bad thing happens today? How are we going to have connectivity? How are we going to have power? How are we going to recover our data? How are we going to communicate to all key stakeholders? And how will our insurance best work to help us get back up and rolling again? This has been Dan Weedin. We've been talking about the elements of a business continuity plan. We'll see you next time.